Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the trip. It's Monday night or Monday morning, depending on where you are. Mr. Tom is here with me, and like usual, we'll do a little intro, and then we'll be ready to go. This is DWTT coming to you from the Emirates. Hello, 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 everyone. All right, how you doing, Mr. Tom?
I am wonderful. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And it is a Monday night. Oh, we got some people who have joined us. We got Thunder Road, our first person in the chat. Welcome to the show. You got BX Gunner is also in the house. Welcome to the show. All right, we'll see who else joins us today. It might just be me and Tom. So sorry. I think Matt's got a football game he wants to watch. Another one, anyways. He did watch. I assume he watched the Arsenal match, but I assume he's also going to be watching. As you know, there's a championship game over here for college football, and his team is playing. I don't even want to mention their name because I don't like his team. And Big Gunner, Mudrik to Arsenal will be announced in 24 hours. And you're laughing, so I don't know what that means. Is that good or good or bad? What is that? Why is it funny? Why is that funny? You gotta let me know. Got Ray's joined us, saying hi to me and Mr. Tom. Yes, and Ray chatting with the rest of the chat group. Ray, get in there. There you go. And I guess we'll start with it. We'll start with it. You know what I have? And usually I have my banners all ready to go. So maybe I'll change my banner and then we'll go from there. But so what do we have here? Arsenal had their match FA match against Oxford United on the road, and tale of two. I would say tale of two halves, but it's actually a tale of 2/3 to a third. If you know what I mean. And started out the first half, you're like, oof, man, our B team as they call it, and it wasn't even really a B team completely though, not like some other teams that can do that. But we had Martinelli, Saka, we had Gabriel, and we had who else did we have? We had four in the lineup. I have to go through my notes real quick here, but we had a strong, I not strong, but we had at least four starters in there. So you had Gabriel, you had Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah. Ooh, why did how could I forget Nketiah? He is now a starter for us right now. One of our, and so we had four of our starters in, and you think, all right, that should help them out a little bit on the back line. Nothing in the middle because you got Sambi and you've got El Neni there, and they're not Partey for sure, and they're not Xhaka as well. So yeah, so that was probably where we're going to have a little bit of an issue. But up top, we had three. Is that right? Yeah, three of our four starters up top. So you like to think Vieira's got a lot of weapons around him. Things should be all right. But not in that first half. So it was a struggle. I think until in the second half when we finally did bring in some of our starters, did things change immediately, and then we kind of ran away with it. And Kedia looked really good with the opportunities that he got. Many have been asking who's the man of the man of the match, and it's hard to tell from the starting 11. But you saw the changes. But we will take the 3-0 win. We now get as as a prize, we get to play City for the first time of the season. So yeah, Mr. Tom, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the match.
I did watch the match.
Okay.
Watched the whole thing.
Oh, cool. What are your feelings on it?
Nothing that you wouldn't have already thought yourselves, really. To be fair, I don't think it. You won't find many Arsenal fans out there that didn't think that first half was dull, uninspired, boring. Dare I say? Um, the match itself had it was a bit like a boxing match where you've got someone who's severely overpowering and the other boxer is outmatched, but you're not doing anything to end the contest. You're inviting them on to hurt you, but they can't. And then it just got to like the 70th minute or whatever, and you went, all right, you've had your chance to hit me. And then you just went 1, 2, 3, done, and went home. And that was it. What happened? It's exactly what happened. Because a better team would have took advantage of the fact that you had no shots on target against the League One side in the first half. Now, does it matter now because you won 3-0? Of course it doesn't. But you've got to be mindful of the fact that obviously against better opposition, that it isn't fantastic. But the reality is you were playing them and you ended up winning. So I can sit here and say, oh, it was dull, it was boring. I would love Leeds to play a match that was dull and boring and we won 3-0. I'd be thrilled. I'd be highly entertained by it because it wouldn't be as stressful as it usually is. But
No, I hear you. I hear you. We'll go to the chat, and then we'll get there's a couple of questions. We'll get to those in a bit. I'll respond to what you said because there's a lot there to unpackage. Yeah, twos and threes. Let's see. Big's gonna. I don't know who this person is. I don't know. Miss Molina has joined us. Welcome to the show, Miss Molina. And I know you guys got the name wrong. The man's name is Fabio Vieira. And
that's the answer to Ray's question about dipping things in tea.
yeah, I haven't got to that yet. I said I'll get to the question. I was going to respond to your comments. I was going to go through the chat first, and I was then going to then ask the question. Is that all right?
But you're showing the answers to the question.
Oh, am I showing the answers to the question? So here we go. The question is, what do you dunk in a hot cup of water, then add milk and or sugar to it?
My initial thought was a tea bag, and then I thought, no, wait, is it a trick question? Is he talking like the rich tea biscuits you get in England, or like a hobnob or something like that? But no, I think he's trying to just get people to say tea bag.
Okay, that's what I you know I one I didn't know indirectly. I was separating the joke from him knowing that I don't like that name. That's not the man's name. It isn't. It isn't his name. But yeah. All right. Yeah. Funny. Mr. Ray. But yeah. So yeah, the last things you said there. Now I may have lost my train of thought, but one thing that we did see, and as you said, a couple of things that I got out of that first half is we have a style of play now, and if you are going to make this team and have substantial minutes and be able to contribute, then you need to be able to play in that particular style, I believe. So everybody on the team either is going to fit the mold of the style that we want, or they're going to have to go, right? That's what we've been seeing. Now that first half, with like I said, there were 4 starters on there, but there are other players that want minutes, and other players that are just they're good for support. But there's players there that they're looking to get minutes out of this thing, and that first half looked like they weren't, as you said, basically they didn't look like they were going to take advantage of the other squad. But I also don't think they were going to play the style of football that we currently play. Yes,
no, because
their levels
they
will
never
be
play together.
Yeah, well, they practice enough and they have played together. They've played at least we've had 6 Europa League games where we played a predominantly B team squad.
Not really the same though as like
But
with
the
respect to
level, the
Oxford.
style is supposed to be the same. The way they practice is supposed to be the same. When they
Yeah,
come
I
onto the
get
pitch
that.
at the end of the game, it's going to be somewhat the same. So it's been drilled into their heads. This is how we play, and all of a sudden you go out there and like so either we have a separate style for our backups, which you don't usually want to do that, right? Because then you're trying to manage two teams, or you have a style of play and everybody adheres to it, and that's what they do when they get out there, right? And if they can't do it, then I assume they shouldn't be on the pitch, and they should be either out on loan or just sold, or all those things. So that's what I got from that first half, and also it shows that we don't have the depth that we want.
I think a lot of teams are finding out that they don't have the depth that they think they do, because like I can put it another way. Newcastle did what Leeds did. Newcastle did what you did to an extent, and they lost. But they were in the same situation as my team, 2-0 down against a team you should be significantly better than. But
Yep.
because you're playing a disjointed lineup that doesn't usually play as a unit, compared to who you're up against, who are going to play that lineup last week and they're going to play it next week. And what you find happens is you're chasing the 8 ball as such, or you're behind the 8 ball. And then, like, fortunately, we pulled it back, but Newcastle got through on all their big stars, didn't win, didn't work for them. We were fortunate that we got away with it, but what you find is there's no substitute ultimately for a cohesive unit that plays together more often than they don't.
True, but before they even really had a chance, like when the subs came in and the assembled has joined us. So welcome to the show, the assembled. Um, but when we brought in our subs around whatever the 60th minute. They barely had a touch of the ball, but all of a sudden things looked totally different, right? And they barely. It's not like they were controlling the game with the ball at their feet and all that. No,
Mm-hmm.
something changed where they came on the pitch. Xhaka and Zinchenko came on the pitch, and next thing you know, voila, boom, 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 free kick, header, score, right?
Yeah,
And there
don't
was
get
a
me
couple of
wrong. When I
I think
say
there's a touch from Zinchenko and stuff like that, but these players they're all practicing against, so they know what's required of them. I get that they haven't been playing like there were 11 players on that pitch. Even the first teamers looked a little disjointed playing, and I get that, but I think it starts from certain areas of the pitch for me, anyways. That's where I think it happens. For us, if our midfield struggles, right? If our midfield struggles, or if our fullbacks are struggling, pretty much the game is we're in trouble, and that's kind of what we saw. We saw that we just don't have the same kind of levels there, even though But that's what So that's what I saw, um, and I think some players don't need to be here anymore, or they need to go out and get some more experience. We'll pick on those players in a little bit. Let me go through the chat real quick here. Fabio was wearing Tony's shirt under his kit in the last 30 minutes of the game, probably, right? I don't know what Fabio did in the first 60 minutes of the game that I would say he looked like he was having a he looked like the one out there playing and
I was
performing the way
very upset
we
he
want.
got took off. I was very upset he got took off. My
Yeah.
my genuine gambling pick on the game lost because he didn't score. Because I
Yeah.
basically did Arsenal -2 goals,
Yeah, no,
4 goals in
Fabio
the game,
yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
to score, and then
Hmm.
Fabio. But they hooked
And
him before
Fabio
he could
needed
get
to
in on it.
he needed to score one to show that, you know what? I am like we're playing Oxford United. I don't all of our players, it does you talked about well they've been playing together and all this stuff. All of our players, my understanding, are significantly better than the Oxford players. That's why they're on the Arsenal. That's one why they're in the Premier League. That's two why they're sitting on our bench. Is just that their skill sets at the least are better than the ones from Oxford, right? Like these
Yeah,
guys wouldn't even stoop. They wouldn't even that would they would Oxford United would be a really big. It would be a step down for them essentially, based on what we're supposed to understand of what their qualities are. And I get that the continuity isn't there, but at least you got to tell me that your talents can overshadow at least the fact that you haven't been playing as one before, but they have played with each other. I mean, these players have all played on this pitch together. They know the style of play, and we should be able to pull in and out pieces. That's what they need to be able to do. So when they're all on the pitch, it's the same. They all have the same instructions, so nothing changes there, right? There are certain responsibilities, and that's kind of what I would expect to happen there. I don't know what you feel about that.
Don't get me wrong, Gary. What I've
Mm.
said about this first half, right, about how you just weren't great, but don't get me wrong. You never at any point looked like you were going to lose. Even when you were doing nothing, they couldn't land a glove on you or couldn't touch you or anything.
They had two shots, not shots on target. They had two shots before we got our first one.
Yeah.
We had to catch up to them on shots.
Yeah, and they had to catch
And we're
up
playing
to
with
goals, and they didn't
three
get
of our
close to it.
starters up top. So you get the ball out to them, something should happen, all right? Like it's like they drag each other down.
I just thought there's obviously things to be worked on for that particular unit of players.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you won, and that's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you got the win. You got the point. You didn't get points. There's no points, but you got the win. Yes. One of the Oxford players is actually a Leeds player.
Okay. Okay. How did he play today?
From what I thought he was all right. Like, it obviously he played in a double pivot that they had deployed, but I think generally their defence and that defensive midfield area, I personally thought they were quite good until you scored, which then just you knew they were going to collapse, because unless they could get the second goal, that was it. It was done. So they have to come forward, which then means that you're more likely to get the second goal, because not only are you better than them, but they've now got to totally abandon their game plan of, well, if we can hold them to not scoring and then we can maybe nick one, or things like that. But I don't think he disgraced himself, but he play for Leeds.
Yeah. No, I mean, they were like from when I watched parts of when I was watching the game, some things just stuck out to me, and it's like you've got El Neni. He gets the ball. He's playing. He's the deepest midfielder, right? So he's going to be playing a defensive role, but his presence as to where he is on the pitch and the players around him was lost. There was one point where he got the ball, and instead of just turning up the field where there was nobody, he kicked the ball back to one of the center backs. I'm like, you have to, and this is, and it seemed we went back a lot in this match. A lot. Like a lot of times they just were not confident or understanding of what needs to be done. The ball needs to be moved up the pitch. And sometimes you're going to have to make a play with the ball at your feet, and we just would rather just pass it up. And sometimes you have to be able to make that play and turn upfield and go. And Kedia has shown some forms from BX Gunner. Yeah, I mean, what did somebody say? I think he's 5 for 5 right now in terms of goals and games played.
4 and 4.
4 and 4. Okay, 4 and 4. Maybe 5 and 5 is because of I saw 5 and 5. So, all right, he scored 5. He scored 2 today, right? So, but he's scoring, and that's one of the key things that, at least for me, is one of the things that he needed to do, because I felt like we would be able to give him the ball in good positions on the pitch. So he needed to be able to score, and at the least, if he's doing that, then that's fine. But he's doing a lot more as well, which is actually good as well, which is actually promising as well, because we need that support sometimes. I want him to be a little bit more urgent running back into the box after he's supported the squad. But otherwise, he's been doing really well. With
His goals tonight were excellent.
yes,
They really were good.
Yep, yep. No, he
It had the touch of class to it, as if you knew watching him score those 2 goals that he has not played in League One. Like, he is a touch above the opposition in that respect. I mean, you all were clearly, but it's a better night. And people may say, "Oh yeah, he scored 2 goals against a League One team." Well, the alternative was he didn't score against the League One team, and then you all slated him for not scoring against the League One team. I mean, he bullied them.
Yeah, when he got opportunities, he did. No, it is 5-5. He is 5-5. He scored against Brighton, West Ham, and Brighton again. And then we didn't score against Newcastle, and then he scored 2 today. So 5-5 for Nketiah in the last 5 matches.
Like, you played Bayern twice.
He's played them in the EFL, and we lost 1-3. He's got it scored in that one, and then then 3 Premier League games, and now the FA Cup. So 5-5, the man's got really good. I don't know where you got 4-4, because 4-4 would mean you're counting FA Cup, but you're not counting EFL. Maybe that's you know what I mean.
He didn't score in the EFL.
It says he scored right here. It says goal. I'm looking at it on FB Ref. It says
no. He scored. Didn't he score first, and then you lost?
We lost in that first one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I'm saying he scored the first goal, and then Brighton scored twice, didn't they?
Yeah, scored 3 times, but yeah.
Oh, 3 times, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I don't think I got to see that one.
Yeah. I'm probably wrong.
And I'm looking at FB Ref. I assume they're correct. They're usually correct about these things, but yeah. So he's been doing pretty good. He's doing good. BX said he listened to the radio. The second half was definitely a lot more fun than the first half.
I find football's much more torturous on the radio because you can't see it. It goes from it can go from nothing happening to then the commentator going like, "And there's a goal," and then you don't know who it's for.
See that, and and the thing about I would hate that, because I like to, like, when I do watch alongs, I'd rather not just go goal and go, here's the build up, and then damn it, we didn't get it, or the goal. So now you know the build up as it's happening, right?
Well, on the show Soccer Saturday in England, which was what we were doing a pseudo version of on Saturday, the host, his trademark on it is basically to go, "There's been a goal at the Etihad, but which way has it gone?" So it just talks you for that few more seconds. I mean, it's probably gone to Man City, but
true.
You don't know for certain until they tell you.
No, true. Just the assembled talking about saying to Ray, "That's good and bad. We're going to need a physical forward if Nketiah keeps scoring. We won't get one. The better teams will outmuscle us. So Eddie is a blessing and a curse, oddly enough." Very true.
That sounds like the assembled. To be fair to the assembled, that sounds like he doesn't like when Eddie scores.
Well, there's 2 parts to that. The one part is, if Eddie scores, then Arteta thinks he doesn't need a physical striker because he's got 2 strikers that will score for him. But teams like Newcastle, right, who will bully you, require a different type of striker, a bigger, taller striker who can hold on to the ball in a mass of hysteria going around him and still be able to hold on to the ball and distribute and stuff. So yeah. And the teams that, a lot of teams that we play, they have a big bruiser like that up top, right? Maximilian, Maximus, is that what we call it? I've got his name from Newcastle. He'll play like that sometimes, right? And we played a couple other teams as well that play just like that as well, where they have a big bruiser up top, and that affects us sometimes.
But But you talk about Nketiah as if like he's a little weakling, and like Jesus is like some big muscle man. They're probably not that different in physicality.
Well, that right there, you just answered the question why we would be looking for a more physical striker, because he's closer to Jesus in terms of being a muscle, being able to muscle defenders, and he's not, and Jesus can't, so he's not going to do that as much, right? And that's why. So yeah, I hear. Yeah, I think you're right that he's closer to Nketiah, Jesus in that respect, but it would be nice to have a bigger striker that comes in.
But no,
No,
I
I
only say that because people talk about him like he isn't.
no,
People
he's
talk like they're
strong,
not.
but
Yeah,
we want somebody who can like that. Like here we go. You're playing for instance Newcastle. It's 0-0. You're getting nothing from them because they're beating you up the whole entire game.
yeah,
60,
but a
70
lot of
minutes
teams
left in the
don't
match.
score on them.
You look to your bench, and there he is, the big holding, forward that you can bring in that can maybe change things up a little bit. Because we always come back to this, right? That's one of the things that Giroud gave to us is we had that guy coming off the bench in situations exactly like what you saw against Newcastle, switching it up. He's fresh, ready to go. They've been doing this for 70 minutes. And he looks like, he's just sprinting and getting around and holding up the ball and all of that. Some of the things that he does well. And that's what, we've seen that before. So we know it's possible. We know we've seen that coming from the bench. All right. So, yeah.
Interesting.
I get what Ray's saying here. The deal, the plan wasn't to get a striker, but the plan wasn't also to maybe have to be down a striker as well. And we needed a striker, so the plan might not be to get a striker in the window, but we were always a striker short.
Interesting.
Right? Most teams have 3 strikers. Is that not abnormal? Is that like a normal thing?
Trying to think how many we have, but then how many do we have that are not injured is also a different question.
Well, no, but you on your squads like day one, how many would you have? Like 3, probably 2 to 3, right?
Well, yeah, 'cause in modern football, most teams play one up front, but it never. You used to need 4.
Yeah. We don't do that much anymore.
No, that's formation changed, but there was a time where you would need 3 or 4.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice to see Eddie scoring on the weekend, but we'll get into that as well. BX, you're talking about last season. All right.
That was the 5 out of 5.
Okay. All right. It's not what the fans want, it's what the squad needs, Ray. All our players are too similar, no variety, in my opinion. This is why our substitutes have no real impact. Like for like, I hear the one side of that argument.
Comment.
I hear the one side of that argument, but I also hear maybe it's just not your day, right? Maybe they got you, maybe the other team has got you in a vice and you can't get out, and they need some fresh legs to go do either what we want to do or, as you say, something different, right? Because sometimes you do have a similar player coming off the bench, and sometimes you want to switch it up, but I think you can do it. You can go both. I think you can go both ways, right? Because after 60, 70 minutes, that whatever you're trying to do might work. You just that you've been beat up all game. You have nothing left to give. Yeah, Tom, you can see Eddie's development now over the last 3 years from Leeds to. See, this is my problem with this statement. It's as if he's been developing up to this point where now all of a sudden he's playing really well. Where we were talking, like I know I was talking about this probably a month or 2 ago, that I would have liked to seen him score a lot more goals in the Europa League against lower level talented teams, and I wasn't seeing that, and he was getting some opportunities to do that, right? So, and that's where you can shine. That's where a lot of our players shined, right? Is playing against what we call lesser talented teams, lower level teams, and showing that they are one of the better players on the pitch. So I don't think it's like a development over 3 years. I think something flipped, right? But for me, it was always like if it was there, it was there. Whether you gave me 10, 20, 5 minutes, I would expect
When
to
did you
see it.
change your name to Tom?
I read the
When did
statement
that
and then I
happen?
wanted to. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Fucking ask me a question, he gets bloody War and Peace read out by you. Anyway,
Uh,
no, it's
I'm
fair,
in a
it's fair.
talking mood.
No,
Sorry.
no, that's fine, that's fine. I'm only joking, of course. But no, what I would say is, see, I don't think he's developed much over 3 years because I always thought he had it in him. Like,
Hmm.
because you got to keep in mind, from my perspective, when we played him, when he used to come on a sub, he'd bang a goal in. Like I think he scored like 6 in 12 or something like that. But the goals that he scored for us were never consolation goal. Like it was always Eddie's goal wins us the game. Eddie's goal gets us a good away point at at Preston on a Tuesday night when it weren't going well for us, and we chuck
Yep.
Eddie on and he gets a header and things like that. It was like that's why we like Leeds as fan base have a great love for Eddie, because we knew we feel like he should have played more. But like the problem was there'd be games where it was obvious he didn't have the physicality at the time for the championship, but Patrick Bamford did. And Bielsa would be like, all right, well, this is a half where we'll use Patrick Bamford. But then there'll be other times where the physicality from Bamford wasn't working. So then he'd go, right, I'm going to chuck on Eddie because Eddie's going to get one shot and he'll score it. And that's what would happen. Like, I don't know off the top of my head, but Eddie's like goal shot to scoring ratio is very high. Because it just felt like you put the ball to his feet from 10 yards out and Leeds had scored. That's what it felt like was happening. And I was disappointed when he went back. I understood why he went back to Arsenal. Everyone understood why he went back to Arsenal, because it's annoying when you loan a player out, like we're finding this out now. When you loan players out down the food chain and they're not playing, it's like you might as well have them back at your training base. But at the same time, when you're the team that's taking a loanee, it's like you can't. You have a responsibility to yourself, and that don't necessarily mean that our responsibility is to Arsenal. And like, if Patrick Bamford is a better fit to play against West Brom, that's who plays. Especially Bielsa don't give a shit. Bielsa's like, I'll play who I want, sort of thing. But yeah. So, but obviously I'm quite a big fan of him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Arteta definitely is a fan of his, and as you say, I mean, I wanted to keep seeing what Arteta is seeing is my thing. Arteta was saying he's been doing really well, and I'm like, can I see it? And I'm not seeing it. And the excuse has always been, well, he doesn't play with a starter, so he can't be good. He's not getting 90
No,
minutes, so he can't be good,
I
right?
think
And
I think I said it before. Sorry, I just get this out before I forget. I think there was a lot of unfairness on him in the sense that you would throw him on with 15 minutes left against Southampton as like a roll of the dice. But that's what it is, essentially. You're rolling the dice by throwing on a sub. But then when he didn't score, it would be like he was the reason, not from you personally, but I mean the fan base as a whole, it would feel like you lost because of Eddie, which is
yeah,
not the case. Like,
yeah,
objectively, with no emotional involvement in it, it was
yeah,
not his fault you lost at Southampton 1-0. But
yeah,
because you brought him on, it's like, well, we giving him chances. It's like you're giving him 15 minutes when you're already losing, sort of thing. And we did the same thing with Tyler Roberts. Like, we'd keep throwing him on with 15, we'd give him 20 minutes, but we're already chasing games, and it's like, and then we're sitting there going, why can't Tyler Roberts change the game? It's like statistically, subs don't score more. Subs don't score more than they do. That's
yeah.
why.
But I
That's
mean,
why you
you
remember
didn't you
when
turn
they
around?
do.
For us, we turn around and we watch a Jota score on us every time he comes off the bench. And it was like, so it can be done. I just wanted to
Were
happen
they
one out of
winning at
three
the
times as
time?
opposed to 3 straight times in a row. You know what I mean? So at some point you're gonna, yes, he didn't score in this one, but it isn't like he didn't have like 10, 12 chances and still no score. So what then? You know what I mean? At some point he's gonna score, but you don't even see it in 10 tries, and you're like, well, oh, but he needs the 90 minutes. So yeah. I don't know why it doesn't look Arsenal's interested in Marcus Thuram. I think he's just he's somebody they don't have on their radar or haven't had on their radar, because usually whoever they have on their radar, it's been there for a while. It might be a new name to everybody because of the World Cup. But before the World Cup, I don't know if his name was out there in terms of maybe an up and coming striker, right? And a French striker, you're looking at Mbappe, and you're just a big drop off from there, right? So a forward coming in will be. I think this is the he is from the World Cup, right? Yeah. And I think even his brother's getting some. Is he the brother? Or is he the one? There was like a brother, and then
No, no.
like two.
Lillian Thuram's his dad.
Yeah. No, but I thought there was okay. All right. I don't know why I heard another name. I thought it was a brother, a younger brother, or something like that.
His dad won the World Cup in
Yeah.
1998. Played for
Wow.
Juventus and Parma, I believe, off the top of my head. But he was good. He was very good.
Yeah.
Like elite,
Yeah.
dare I say. But
Yeah.
I just think ultimately Eddie Nketiah probably deserves a bit more slack from your fan base, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I do feel sometimes there's a wish for him to foul in the hope that you then buy someone because of it, or so people can justified in what they pre-think that he's not good enough. I mean, they're entitled to think that he's not good enough, but I think people want things to happen to justify it.
Well, you really want, yeah. I mean, that's true. If he's not going to be the one, then he needs to go. And the only way to see that is when you see him on the pitch. And then, so yeah. So I don't necessarily. That's not always that you want him to fail. Is that, can you do the job that we want? And if you can't, then that's one reason why you're not going to be on the squad as well. Failing
Would
could be like,
you?
well, yeah.
No, sorry.
You froze on me, or I froze on you. I don't know which one it is.
Sorry. In Jesus's absence, do you think he's done the job?
Yeah, yeah, and he did the job that I said he was going to do. Like the job for me was that he needed to be in the box when the ball's there, so that he can put the ball in the box. Because many have said he's probably a better finisher than Jesus is. And,
He is.
then nothing that we have seen so far would be would say no to that comment. That no, it is. So yeah. So, and for me, I didn't want him to have to do Jesus' job, but I didn't want him to be in that situation where he's has opportunities to score, and then he just puts them away. He's doing that, so I am happy about that. I think we talked about Jesus as a physical striker. That's probably where we brought that up. I don't think he is much
yes.
as many as Jesus, but that's fine. We need somebody even stronger than those
Stan
two.
said about
Yeah.
what's it name? Catherine.
Yeah. Most teams have two strikers this summer. Yeah. No, I mean, if we were in the Champions League, I don't know if Nketiah would have been the man for us, right? Because you're looking at some of these teams who their second is probably a little bit level higher than Nketiah is, right? If we're going to be, the plan is to try to win the thing. So if you're talking about trying to win it, then at this maybe a year from now we're talking differently. But right now, yeah, it's a nice run he's on, but it's not.
We wouldn't have
Our
played
subs,
anyway
our
if
subs
you'd
have
have
little
played
impact because
Jesus.
they have not taken their chances. So with that means, as I said, they do get their chances. Yeah, and Ray kind of thinks they do as well, right? Yeah. When you get at chances to score, I mean that's the only thing in your mind is to baby score. Yeah. So That's good.
It's true. You have got to do it, and that's why it's key. Like the teams that actually make it happen, obviously do very well later down the line, but it's not. It's not a regular thing that happens. Eddie Nketiah is not the only striker that comes on with 15 minutes left and doesn't score. Is my point.
Yeah.
There will be strikers up and down the country on
And as I
Saturday
said, it
that are thrown
isn't
on.
the one time he doesn't do it. It's the 12 to 15 times that he didn't do it straight. That's you're going to tell me he didn't do it one time, and I'm going to tell you he's played like over 10 games in the Premier League, and now it's only been scoring since Jesus has been gone, right?
I will say it's very different now, though, because you're winning games.
You're going
be
to keep
coming
moving the
on when you're in
goalpost every
front.
time I bring something up, right?
No, you've made a fair point. But it's also fair to say last year you had a back end of the season that wasn't fantastic, and let's be fair, it's the reason you're in the Europa League now, not Champions League, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So you're throwing him on when the pressure's on, but you throw him on now, and the pressure is not as great because you're probably already winning the matches you bring him on in.
Yeah, but there's two sides to that. There's pressure on to score, right? But so no matter what you do, you either can be the hero or be as good as everybody else because they didn't score either. So you have an opportunity to showcase your skills in that particular point in time. So if you don't look at it as an opportunity, then yes, you won't take it. And Bam Bam Bigelow is on the show. Yeah. The only problem is I don't remember Bam Bam Bigelow having that much hair on his head. Usually had tattoos.
I think it's the light.
Oh, it's the light. Is that why it looks like you have hair?
It's the light.
But you don't have the tattoos, though.
No,
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
So, Stan, do you want to
thanks.
join? Sorry, if I missed that, let me know. I can send it to you anyways, and if you want to join, you can. Before I do. So yeah, this is messages. If you're around, come on. What else we got?
While
that's going on.
Stan?
Mr. Baxter from Grange Hill. If you're around, Mr. And there you go. You can join us. I just sent you the link. See if that goes through. But I don't think I know Grange Hill.
Googled him. Jesus Christ.
We have a first team and everyone else is a backup. The level drops drastically when 5 or more players are put into the first team. We need a squad of first team players. That's the difference. Yeah, well, before the last 5 matches, Nketiah was part of that. Nketiah was part of that bench that those backups per se. He's got his opportunity. He's shown he can do it. So it's like when I see what I'm seeing now, it shouldn't matter anymore whether he starts. That cannot be an excuse anymore. It can't. It can't. It can't because not everybody, even in the Mbappes and the Jesuses and the KDBs of the world, will come off the bench sometimes and will be expected to perform. We've seen it now.
But I think the problem with your team, and you all know it deep down, is that I said it. I think BX or someone, Stefan, agreed with me on it earlier. But basically, my point in Ryan's stream. But my point was, you have a very good 11. Like, dare I say, you have an elite 11. It's very good. It's clearly good. You're top of the tree. But that's all you have.
No, yeah, and we had what used to look like interchangeable fullbacks, but we're seeing now that if there is a big gap there's a bigger gap than what I thought I saw before. The Virgil and Bigelow podcast. I don't know who the Virgil is. That's one of the.
Virgil. Virgil's a character.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Might have to just type that in as we sit here, so I can see what that's at. It types in Virgil, and the first thing came up was a fashion designer. So I don't think that was the man, but yeah, I see him now.
He used to be the $1 million man Butler.
Oh, okay, I remember the $1 Million Man. I remember that.
Yeah,
It would come with a
he was his
gray
he was his,
suitcase, right?
he was his butler, but really he basically took all his beatings for him, and then eventually got sick of it and turned on him, basically. But
That's great.
he's he's more known today for his grifting abilities with respect to him.
Hmm.
That's not why it's called it, not why he's called it that, obviously, but
Hmm.
just like he's known for. Basically,
Cool.
if you go to a wrestling convention, even just look at him, he will grift you into buying a picture of him for a tenner, and you'll never see that tenner again. That's basically what he's known for. But anyway,
Cool.
oh, he loves Olive Garden too. Allegedly, he's always tweeting about it. But
Olive Garden.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is Olive Garden good?
It's an well, I guess some would say it's an okay Italian restaurant, but I think the food's good there. Food's good
He
there.
loves the breadsticks, apparently.
Yeah, they give you free unlimited breadsticks. That's probably why.
That explains why he's such a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's unlimited
Free
breadsticks.
and unlimited. That's
yeah,
Virgil.
yeah, free and unlimited.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waghorse is going to United. I think did somebody say I think he's like one of the top players in the top Turkish player. I think or something like that. I think he's from Turkey. I don't remember.
Yeah, but the problem with the contract, the problem that United have got with this is, sorry, United, scumbags, Man United have got with this is he's obviously contracted to Besiktas, and allegedly there's no break clause because he's on loan from Burnley. So any money goes to Burnley, but obviously Besiktas will want compensating because they've not planned for him disappearing halfway through the season. So what someone in the media suggested that there was like a 2 point, like if you paid Besiktas 2.5 million, you'd be able to get the player, and they've allegedly said that's bullshit. Pardon my language, but so I don't know what's happening there, but that is a
all right. Yeah, see, I think this is he does have a brother that plays for Nice.
Yep.
All right. That name doesn't look familiar to me, but but it's probably his dad they were talking about. But I thought he had a brother. But
no, I must admit, to be fair to Stan, I did not know that. I did not know he had a brother. So
yeah, no. Because they talking about him, and then they were talking about his brother. I believe I heard some chatter about his brother. So yeah, Erdegaard and Eddie combination is backing up. Jesus, correct. So you get some help from Nketiah, and then Erdegaard has to pick up the pace a little bit and support a lot more than usual, which is probably good for Erdegaard, which eventually hopefully will push Jesus further up the pitch and keep him in the box, and maybe he scores more, right? Yeah, Tommy, even I had to admit his finishing has improved, but we are lacking in variety up front. That's from the assembled.
He had me in the first half there. I thought he's finally going to say something nice about my boy Eddie, but then he was
well, you said the same thing about variety.
Yeah, I know, but still.
So it's not that's not a negative. It's not a negative though. If I told you had two Jesuses, you'd be happy with it, and then you needed something different.
Harry, I don't care. I just want to say something. You know, I don't put much thought into what comes out of my mouth.
I hear you. I've heard of this Kanga from Red Star Glade. It's supposed to be all right. Yeah, okay. So Thunder Road is backing me up. So he's got a younger brother, 21 years old, 6'4", defensive midfielder. Yeah. There you go. And that would be like the Partey backup for us anyway. So, yeah. If Eddie bangs in over 10 goals in Jesus' absence, he's earned 100K. From what I've seen right now, if it continues to get better, we'll be fine. We'll take it, right? Because this is what Arteta has been telling us that Nketiah has it. So we're seeing it. I'm happy with what I see. We've got Chris has joined us. Welcome to the show. Even if an Nketiah becomes a striker, they get you through the early rounds of competition. That's still a big role. No, for sure. No, for sure. I think he's doing well, and he's making not necessarily forget Jesus, but making it easy for Jesus to just worry about getting getting his body right, and we'll be where we want to. We'll be in the same place. Hopefully, when he left, that'd be nice. That's all right, Stan. If you're, that's cool. You usually tell me when you can come on anyway, so I I knew. Stan it said Tony's shirt was remarkable. Has remarkable recovery abilities. Yeah. Tony's out today. I don't know where he's out. He said he's not going to be able to make the show, so I don't know. I'm hoping that everything's okay with Tony. That's what I'm
That
hoping
makes
for.
sense.
So, but he's had some stuff going on, I think. But Tony always has some
Actually,
stuff
yeah,
going on.
I was wrong here. He actually was the $1 million man's officially he was a bodyguard, but he was also the butler. He
Hmm.
treated him like a butler.
When you said Butler, I was like, I thought it differently at the time because I don't remember wearing a black. Like I thought, like I think I more remember him as a bodyguard than a butler. But maybe you
No,
call your
that is
butlers.
right. That is wrong.
Do you call your bodyguards butlers over there?
No, but no, but there. No. That is. I was wrong. That is right. But he did treat him like a butler.
Yeah. Mm.
Um,
Yeah. I don't know who this is. This is Mr. Baxter.
I googled it and I was not pleased, which means that it was naturally probably a really good comparison.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Stefan has joined us. Welcome to the
Basically,
show, Stefan.
it's a middle-aged white man with hair on the sides and none on the top. So it's actually
Ah. All right.
a really good
Stefan's
suggestion.
like you got to make
Unfortunately,
additions of Arsenal serious about contending for the next few years. I mean, the next few years, right now, if we can compete for the next 6 months, we'll be happy, right? And anything we do for the, so I'll tell years definitely, but there's things we can do. I think right now that can help us up our odds to stay where we are, right? I mean, the one thing I know, the one thing we play the North London Derby, we play against Manchester United at home, but we've got a week in between each one of those, so we've got time to recover. And for me, anyways, recover from that. And we know our style of play, and these players hopefully are going to get better. And Kid has got more confidence now, scoring every time he's in a match. I mean, the one thing I know is that Saka came off. I know he came off for precaution, but I hate when he has to come off for precaution, meaning that he got a neck and they don't want to make sure he's okay. Virgil associated with Ted DeBossi. Tom is the big boss man. All right.
I probably mean that the assembled. Yeah, probably.
The
Oh,
$1 million
I
butler.
did read something. I did read something amusing earlier. Like I read someone's opinion on Chelsea that they should play Mason Mount and Conor Gallagher out wide, as far wide as the car park.
Oh, that
They
Mason
were
Mount
not
gives you
impressed.
some gives you some play sometimes, and Gallagher looks like a young player, right?
I don't care.
So
It was insulting them, and I found it
I
funny.
know, I know. I don't know why I'm trying to go the opposite way. As much as I hate Mudrik, he gives us an instant impact off the bench. No, no. Why do you hate him? Do you hate the? You probably hate Shakhtar. You don't hate Mudrik. You can't
I
hate a
no no
talented
I, no
player.
no. I kind of I agree with BX. If he if he walked in front of me, I wouldn't know it was him. Like I don't know what he looks like or anything.
Yeah.
However, I've heard that man's name so many times in the last
Yeah.
2 weeks that I wish he would fuck off.
I
Just
can
out
understand that
of
from
my
your
life.
perspective. But from my perspective, if my team's going to keep going after him, he's going to keep being in the news, and they need to just get that thing done, right? Just get it done if that's what you're going to do. If you want the player, get the player and just get it done. And give, if it requires ultimatums or like, here, this is the offer, and then we move on to our next target and you go do your business, then you do it. All right.
Well,
I'm not
I
sure.
said on, I
Yeah.
think I said it on Saturday. I said it Saturday to Sam or on the fan circle. Basically said, I think that transfer deal, unless some major development has happened in the last 24 hours that I'm unaware of, but that transfer deal is going to deadline day, and you're playing chicken with Shakhtar. because you hope that they're so desperate to sell, they'll let you pay what you want, and they're hoping that you get so desperate to buy that you'll pay them the 80 million, and ultimately one of you is going to be upset come February 1st or whenever it is. But I think it's going that far because, as said, I could be wrong. There could be a major development while I've been at work, but it sounds like you're both like putting your toes in the water each time, going, "Are you willing to settle for what we want yet?" And it's like, "Nope." "Are you willing to settle for what we want yet?" "Nope." And you're going to dance around it for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, I just got a picture of Mr. Baxter, and
I know. I don't know why
it is eerily similar. And if he was sitting in the dark with you, the only reason why I probably would know the difference is a little bit because he doesn't have the goatee, the little legs here.
Yeah.
But the nose might be a little bit more skinnier.
I don't know.
But otherwise,
to stand, to be
I
honest,
think that man is related.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask my mum some questions tomorrow.
He looks so. It's like honest, I'm like.
I thought my dad was the milkman, but apparently it's this man from Grange Hill.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can put this up on. How do I do this? Oh, there we go. I think I can do this here. I think I can share this with the masses. I can share this with the masses because why not? Why not? Because everybody wants to see what you look like.
Why not? Where is he?
I saw him. I saw him on another channel. I saw him on another channel. When did I see him? On another channel, and I think I tried to say hi to him, but yeah. Let's see. Is this it here? Oh, yeah, this is it here. So for you guys, yeah.
Hang on. Let me try and pull. Oh, I'm gonna be like.
Yeah. How do I do this thing? Oh, I have to. Oh, I know what to do now. All right, so there we go. There's Mr. Tom. See if I move Mr. Tom in there and do this. There you go. There's Mr. Baxter. Mr. Baxter is on the left or the right, but I guess you can see the name. So there you go. Mr. Tom's looking like.
These are all better than what I used to get told I look like. People used to go, "You look like Wayne Rooney." I was like, "Yeah, thanks for telling me I look like a chimp."
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, so João Felix would cost Chelsea $750K a week. That's ridiculous, right? When it's all said and done, I think.
I hate you all, except for Chris Nicks, because he seems quite. Yeah, no, joking.
Yeah, well,
it's all in good fun. All in good fun.
Yeah, Thunder Rose has it right. For those that are in, please hit the likes and let us know that you're here. I try to say hello to everybody. If I have not said hello to you, let me know.
Oh, welcome everyone to.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, the $1 million shirt, Tony. All right. Supposedly, Madrid refused Chelsea, which accelerated the Felix deal. Chelsea are desperate for options, especially with Sterling and Pulisic going down, and Auber is terrible. Yeah. It's crazy how. Think about why are players crazy, right? Or not crazy, but how many players have gone to Chelsea and then, as many people have said, it turned to just crap. They're just their scoring has been terrible, and you're like, why would you want to go there? The money might be good, but your play gets bad and never looks good. You think Madrid's going to be announced very, very soon? That sounds like it. Definitely sounds like it. Valet. There you go. What else we got here?
A lot of people know Virgil.
Do you mean an 8-foot center parting? It's an 8-inch center parting. I don't know what that is.
I'm talking about the parting in my hair.
Oh, is that? That's a new style, then, huh? That's a new style.
Yep.
I don't know that team in United, or I guess it's Manchester United, a huge test of character. There you go. Yeah, no, Eddie must deliver, but you know what? Eddie's done well so far. It's a big He'll be right back. We're seeing a little bit, but it's a big match. He hasn't played in many of these types of match for Arsenal, and nobody on this team has played. Well, yeah, except for Zinchenko, maybe nobody has played in a match like this. Really, in this kind of this pressure cooker of a match. Yeah, you want Chelsea to pay $1 gazillion for Mudryk, and he fails hard. Yeah, well, it looks like he's coming to us. So hopefully, the fail part is only if he goes to Chelsea.
I think Chelsea have got this uncanny ability to source out players that can basically play everywhere except in England.
Mm.
Like they managed to find players that can play great in the Bundesliga, Serie A, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as they come to England, there's something about it. They can't hack the pace, the physicality. There's something about it where they just turn to shit.
Yeah, they don't
And
do a good.
they save everyone else from having to suffer it.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know who this Louis Spence is.
I could be wrong. He's either a dancer or an ice skater.
I see the dancer, but I don't know how. Is he supposed to be looking like you?
No, he's saying Chris Nix looks like him.
Oh, all right. Maybe I get that. I get that. Maybe.
I think he might have been a judge on the show Dancing on Ice.
Mudryk didn't shy away from playing real
him
and the
about
other
20
players
years.
in the Champions League, so he's up. So he's up for the occasion. Yeah, he looked good again in the Champions League. So I mean, Gakpo's looked good in the Champions League. It's translated to the World Cup. It's translated to him get onto to Liverpool. Yeah, put it up. So he did that. And that is the okay. So this is the what does Mr. Tom look like? And I have to keep looking at all these things to see what these people look like and see if it all right.
It's basically it's basically like a white racist thing where basically I look like every bald white person that's ever lived.
Stop it.
It's true.
Let's see.
It's true.
All right, so this is what oh, here's another picture. This is what Mr. Tom might look like. So let's see. We shall do another boom 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 boom. And here we go. Yep. And now we will see Mr. Tom. There you go. Is that Mr. Tom there? Let's see. We'll put him side by side. Huh. It's close. It's close, but the fact that he has a red beard is just a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a red beard and doesn't have the full beard. Got a red goatee, but not the full beard. So yeah, nah.
I thought he was quite good on that show, so I'm not. I'll let Chris Nix live, basically.
I don't like beta. I don't think so.
I'm coming for you, Stan. I'm coming for you, Stan.
There we go. The light.
Not really. He's very far. He's very far away. He's very far away. He's very far. I can't. I'm too lazy. I'd rather see crisps.
Yeah, I get. We need killers, but whoever we bring in, unless we're spending 80, 90, they're not going to be immediately contributing. And Stan is right, though. He does, Stan could look like a giveaway for RuPaul.
Is that RuPaul in costume or
out of costume?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have never seen Stan in costume to know if they look the same that way too. But I think Stan is a lot shorter man than RuPaul is when he's in. So yeah. So it might not. But yeah, I think without the hair, you could see a resemblance for sure.
Well, maybe the Arsenal fan circle should do an episode called the Arsenal Fan Drag Race. Where we can find out.
Maybe. This is fierce, I see. Yeah. It's yeah. Oh, you got the nickname Stan because he's like Stan Collymore. I did look up Stan Collymore. I could see a bit of a resemblance there as well.
You don't want to look up his controversy segment on Wikipedia.
No, I don't want to
He's
do that.
probably got one.
Stan, do you
No,
remember
you
when
shouldn't
that
do
dude
that.
first came to Arsenal? Vieira reminds me of him. He has to adapt to the physicality. If he does, he'll be a bargain. Yeah, and for me, it's not necessarily the physicality right now. For now, he has to use the other skills that he has. I believe he's got good footwork with the ball, and he also knows he has to be a lot faster in his decision making. So I don't know. He's got to speed up, man. Stan, didn't you go out with your Ulrika? Is that how you say that?
Well, Ulrika Johnson, she was a TV weather girl on the Good Morning TV, which obviously then branched out into presenting and stuff like that. And
I'm just looking at
I'm
her.
not going to talk about their tumultuous relationship. Let's just say.
Oh, is that what's going on there? Is that I have to look at the uh all right, here we go. Go to the Wikipedia page. Will probably tell me some of what you're talking about.
I mean,
Wow.
I only really know that happened because someone outed it on the Talksport radio show, and Stan Collymore took it surprisingly well.
Hmm.
Yeah, what Chris Nick said. Yeah.
Okay.
And he. But yeah, she
Yeah.
was a solid citizen in the mid '90s.
Okay. Yeah.
And he had been signed by Liverpool for about £7 million at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And also I believe Stan Collymore has a penchant for the practice known as dogging.
Okay. You know what? I skipped over that one because I was looking at the she had an affair with the England manager. So that lady's been a little busy, a little busy, much less.
Well, more 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't hear much from her now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Society,
Your time you get your you always get your 15 minutes. Get your 15 minutes of fame sometimes they say.
But yeah, no, she was a massive star. And then naturally you get replaced by new massive stars. But
True. There's always somebody else to knock you down for sure.
Well, in her case it was Stan Collymore, allegedly.
Yeah.
In a restaurant, allegedly.
That's crazy. It's probably not a good name to be
too soon
associated with, huh, Stan? That's crazy. So so as somebody said, Matt is not here. He's watching his team. They are up 10 points right now, so he's probably pretty happy. And they're probably going to score again.
Allegedly is my favourite word because you can pretty much say anything you want, and as long as you say allegedly after, you're fine. You're not. Don't take that as real advice. It's just be as kind of true.
Yeah, people always do that. Allegedly are at the end, right? It's like, yeah. So I don't tell me about the Leeds match because I think I did. I don't. They drew or no? They did win.
Well, allegedly we drew. We were 2-0 down, and then we wasn't, and it's funny I say that about subs because with 4 minutes left, we threw on an 18-year-old and then he scored. So it does happen, just not as often as people hope. But yeah, anyway, I thought it was Chris Armstrong was a good striker. Went Crystal Palace to Tottenham, and then it all fell apart for him. Anyway, we were terrible. No, sorry. I'll describe it a better way. We controlled the game for 20 minutes. We actually controlled possession of the ball and territory until Cardiff went down the other end and scored. And then Cardiff dominated the game. They scored again. They continued to dominate the game. And then
Mhm.
basically we threw on the first teamers. Rodrigo got thrown on. And
Mhm.
then within about 10, 15 minutes, we'd scored. My boy Junior Firpo got robbed of his first goal.
Mhm.
That ball fell to him so perfect, and he struck the ball and it was going straight into the corner. And then a Cardiff defender decided to make a great save with his hand. Now, allegedly, the goalkeeper is the only one that's allowed to handle the ball. Apparently, if the defender handles the ball, he gets sent off in his penalty, which is what happened. But then you're meant to score the penalty. But as we know, Leeds don't score penalties.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you know that. You all know that. When we got the penalty, right, in back of my mind, I'm sitting there going, now I know the advantage lies with the attacker, right? But I'm
Yeah.
not talking about Stan Collymore allegedly, but no, the penalty, the advantage lies with the attacking team. But I know it's Leeds, so I'm going to sit there and go, stop wasting time. Just give Cardiff the goal
Mhm.
kick.
Mhm.
Just let Cardiff have the ball. They made the save, it's fine. But to my team's credit, they still kept going, and the player that missed the penalty, Rodrigo, still kept going.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things. Did I really want to have a replay against Cardiff? Not really, in the sense that Arsenal don't want too many games. Like, would you have wanted to draw tonight and have to play them again next week? But we ain't really in the position of picking and choosing what we get up to. So
Well, no, I mean it's probably good to have the extra games one, because you you know haven't probably you've got some new players you want to get in there anyways, right? And it looks like they're down a man anyways for it. So you get one of theirs. Hopefully that's a starter defensively who's out. So then that means you've got to deal with a backup defender. That should be a plus, and maybe you get the win without having to use your starters.
I suppose it depends when. I think it is next week, but I suppose it depends what the games are around it, and that's how you
Hmm.
like sort of prioritise your squad. I'm guessing, but in the moment, obviously, I wanted us to push on and score. I didn't care who it was, and we got like. If before the game, if you'd told me you're drawing 2-2 with Cardiff, I'd go, that's a bad result. We should be beating them. But in the context of the game, it was a good result because we did not deserve a result.
Yeah. And for 60 minutes, we had a bad game. For 30 minutes, we had a good game. So we're supposed to be okay. It was a good game when I know what I saw for 60 minutes, and it wasn't good at all.
To be fair, though, 30 minutes is usually enough when you're the better team. If it's the back 30 minutes
True.
and you're not
Yeah,
losing.
yeah. But I mean, if we played the first 30 minutes like the last 30 minutes, and then we held on and still won 3-0, we might go, well, we kind of turned, you turned off. We kind of shut it down and just got out of there without any further injury,
Oh,
right?
of course. That's the way these things
You
go.
can recognize the trophy. You slapped him with it. Yeah. Talking about that team. Mm, celebrity. Okay. All right. Don't know what that means yet. Yeah. No, that's cool. So you got one more game to stay in it. Do you want to stay in it? Because I know some fans are like, I really don't want to be in the cup matches because the extra
It,
games.
it, there's part of me, right, and it's rational, but it's probably not in the sporting sense, where I just like, even if we got good cup draws and we eventually make it to round 6 and then we get Man City, it's like we might as well have gone out in round 3 because we're probably not getting past them. And
You mean Arsenal?
like
You mean Arsenal?
because yeah, sure, whatever. But we're probably not even going. Be honest, we're probably not even going to beat Boreham Wood or Cardiff. So, but the point is, there are teams where it's like Wigan won the FA Cup in 2013, but they got relegated and haven't been back since. Now they've got that day that they won the FA Cup, and it's a great day for them. But I bet a lot of them would have swapped that for not being relegated and being a Premier League team.
True.
I know you can't pick and choose.
Yeah. So Stan's going to tell his story. I believe I've heard many of Stan's look-alike stories. If this is one of them, so it's a good one for those who have not heard it. Big Gun has been mistaken for Mexican. He's got that light skin, as they say. Yeah.
I once got mistaken for Andy Cole.
Andy Cole. Cool. There was a basketball player when I was younger who I looked like. His name was Sleepy Floyd. So my friends called me Sleepy. It looks like
Sleepy Floyd was his actual name.
Sleepy Floyd, yeah, that's his name on the basketball court. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Stan, I believe they must have heard about your exploits as Chris Armstrong and RuPaul. I'm saying anything.
All of a sudden, we got these things popping up, right?
Exactly. It lays like sharks smelling blood in the water.
You see the resemblance of Tom and probably many of the people we've shown today on the show,
especially Andy Cole.
Was you on the booze, Mr. Tom?
I'm very much teetotal, apart from the odd tip.
Which Andy Cole? How do you spend Andy Cole, to tell you the truth?
It's the Andy Cole that used to play for Newcastle and Manchester United.
You look like Andy Cole. I keep putting the name up, and I'm not kidding.
I've definitely been told I look like Andy Cole.
You look like Andy. I just had to type it in. I typed it in. I said Newcastle. I see the player in a Newcastle shirt. I don't see the resemblance for some reason. And it's like the Aussie Gooner. We've called the Aussie Gooner. It's early morning time over there. Welcome. He's probably getting up for go to work. Welcome to the show, Aussie Gooner. Andrew Cole, not Andy Cole. That might make a difference. Let's see if it makes a difference.
That's true. No, he used to be known as Andy Cole, and then he started to get a bit serious, and he was like, "No, I'd like to be known as Andrew Cole." And I was like, "All right, fair enough. I'll call you Andrew."
I see him, but I'm still. I don't know. I can't get the resemblance. I'm not sure. What am I missing?
It must be our eyes or something.
It must be your eyes.
I can't speak for other people. But...
We're gonna have to put this up because I need to see what everybody sees here. So, everybody, we're gonna see Mr. Tom as Andy Cole because why not? We've been doing it all day. Chrome time.
Oh no, that's if I was Alan Shearer. Oh, wait.
Is this thing gonna go? Let's see. All right, let's see if I can get it. So there you go. I'm going to show Mr. Tom in a second here next to his lookalike. There you go. Of all the lookalikes, this one is probably the closest. I mean, outside of the green background, I don't know what else there is different about the two of you. I mean, anybody see anything else? I mean, it's just
both got that smouldering intensity. We both look like someone that scored 40 goals in a Premier League in a season.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're seeing it, folks. The Tom lookalike special.
See, you didn't know if I was on the left or the right, Chris.
Down the road's been mistaken for Billy Blanks. Oh, the Tybo guy and Chris Eubank Sr. All right. I let my hair grow out sometimes, so maybe that's why they think we might look alike, but I don't know what Thunder Road looks like. I just see the picture on his little logo there. Stefan says he's looked like Mike Tyson and
And
joined. Oh,
beyond that of ABBA.
that is it. I don't even know. I'm trying to. I'm like, maybe I'm thinking of a different Mike Tyson then. Maybe. Mr.
It's
Yeah,
just like-
Dan's got it. Mr. Baxter for the win.
Whenever, like, I don't know why, whenever someone says Mike Tyson, I always think of in the American version of The Office when Michael Scott phones the office in the next room and just starts going, "This is Mike Tyson," and starts doing the voice. It was terrible but brilliant at the same time. But
You're right about that. There's some. If you close your eyes, you can see the resemblance between Tom and Andy Cole. Oh, that's what it was. You got me. The ears are different. The ears are different. Yeah, you're right. Now that I look, the ears are different. The ears are different. It's not because of the AirPods either. It's just the ears are different. You got me. Yep. Yep. See, he can't tell the difference, and I thought, I thought it's just because of the green background. Yeah.
no. They're wrong. We are twins. We are. It's like only because I can see my arm moving. Otherwise, I think I was looking in a mirror. Oh.
Oh. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this one. Because gotta have to find one of the younger ones, the younger pictures of the man. Ooh. Gotta find one that gets a good look. That one looks good. Let's do that one. Got another one coming up. Another look-alike for Mr. Tom. Because guess why not? We are getting to the end of the show here, and it is good to see. There we go. Yeah. You see it? You guys see it? Do you see it? Oh man, we are having fun now. Yeah, yeah. You guys gonna give names all along? Let's see. I bet Barman once asked my missus if she was Walker's wife from Breaking Bad. Oh,
that's good.
there you go. The magician, the Little Britain. Yeah, yeah. The magician. What is that? I have to look that up now because why not? I have nothing. Here we go. Oh, okay. Oh, I think you're. Oh, yes, I think so.
I've not seen this.
Oh, you're gonna love this. I gotta pick see if I can pick a big. Oh, which one do I want to go
your
with?
homework for next week's trip, lads, is to find more shit that I look like allegedly, because apparently it's a fucking bottomless pit of people.
This one. I don't know where to go. There's lots of good ones. There are good ones. I'm gonna go with. Let's go with this one. Let's do it. Got another one. Last one before we head out of here.
People love
before
homework.
we head out of here. Where is it?
I love how people have tuned in at 2 a.m. in some cases, and then it's just us sitting here and they can just hear the sound of clicking, you clicking the mouse.
Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah. There we go. This is going to be a good one here.
Oh, fuck off. No. Oh, it's quite good actually. What?
There are some other ones there, but this one,
Look in my eyes. Look in my eyes. Is that what he does? I've never seen it.
I don't know. All right. And you know what? I have to do this one anyways because I didn't do it the first time. So, yeah, this is a good one here. Boom. Boom.
Don't
Yeah,
forget to
this is the
like,
last
share,
one.
and subscribe if you enjoyed the show today.
This is the last one before we head out of here because I have a because we talked about it, but we didn't actually put a picture up so you can actually see. Um, but there you go. It looks like you have tattoos on the top of your head though, so that's actually pretty good.
Can someone please time the assembled out for 1 week, please?
I think you guys make. There you go. There you go. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Yeah, it's pretty late, right? It's almost
That was
2
great.
a.m. for you guys, so we probably should head out of here.
Great suggestions, guys.
The Dudley Boys. Oh, I don't know who they are. So that means what?
They're a wrestling tag team.
I have to look what they.
To
Dudley
be
Boys.
to
Let's
be
see.
fair, it's not actually that inaccurate because one of the brothers is black.
No, they are brothers. That's all right. You got it right. What is wrong with you? Do you not know?
I thought you
All
didn't
right.
know.
I didn't know they were. I didn't know who they were in the first place, much less what one. Yeah. Oh, Gangrel, the Brood. All right, we'll do that. One more.
All right.
One more. Let's see what this guy looks like, or what this looks like. Images, please.
It's a vampire.
Okay.
It's a
Oh, should I
vampire
go?
wrestler.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying that Mr. Tom looks like this guy. All right. He's in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Oops. What did I just do? All right. There you go. Oh, this is wow. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think the Aussie Gooner likes you. But here we go anyways.
I probably deserve it. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, this is the Aussie Gooner. Says Gangrel.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be mean to Mr. Gangrel because he's done nothing to me, but he does look like someone's like melted his head off and then piped it back onto his shoulders.
Hmm. On the road wants to get the tables. I guess he wants people falling through tables. But yes, people, it is. We've hit the 90-minute mark on a Monday night morning for those on the across the pond, or even the early morning for those in Aussie land with the Aussie Gooner. So we're gonna head out of here, Mr. Tom. What say you?
Yes. As I usually say, thank you to everyone that takes the time to. Yeah, that is true, Stan. It's exactly true. Thank you to everyone that takes the time to participate, and the last half hour or so has actually been genuinely fun, despite my faux anger at these suggestions. They're actually quite good, especially Mr. Stan's one. Begrudgingly, it was. It's disturbingly accurate, obviously, if I'm being self-aware. But yeah, no, seriously, thank you for taking the time to participate and suggest things, and don't bother tweeting me other ones because I will block you. No, I won't really. That's not true. But it sounded good in my head. But no, have a good week, everyone. Get well, Stan. I believe he said he wasn't well. So yeah, get well. Same to anyone else if you're feeling any ailments, but didn't feel the need to tell Dr. Tom. But that's all right. That's all right. You don't have to. Thank you for being part of the trip.
Cool. All right, everyone. So yes, as Tom said, for those who aren't feeling well, Stan's told us that definitely speed recovery for you. Tony, hopefully we'll see him back next Monday. I think even Ray actually brought up something about, I think I started because I wanted to know, I didn't know what he meant by this. Will there be a trip show next Monday? Allegiances will be tested. I don't know what's going on next Monday. Are we playing on Monday?
Are the Cowboys playing in the playoffs?
Oh, yes, the Cowboys are playing in the playoffs. So I guess he's wondering if I'm going to have my show. I'm probably going to have my show, but the game will probably be on. I will probably chat about it while it's on. That's fine. That is cool. I'm a little. I'm not too happy about the way we ended our season and the way we kind of backed into the playoffs. So my team, Mr. Tom, they lost the game, but they still made it into the playoffs because all the teams lost that
Yeah.
that can make it into the playoffs won. And then the last game of the season they lost. So
Yeah. I
they're
noticed.
they are
I was
going into
disappointed in my Packers.
the playoffs the wrong way. But yes, so thank you everyone. We will be back next Monday for sure. We'll be chatting about the North London Derby and all the other football that goes on. Who do you guys play over the weekend, or do you play midweek?
We've got Villa on Friday.
Okay.
Friday night game at Villa Park.
Oh, all right. There you go. So talk about Villa. It's welcome in Leeds, and then Arsenal is heading over to the toilet bowl. We got our plungers, or actually, we're going to clog up the thing and hopefully we get all the win there. But we'll see you back there on Monday. I'd like to tell you, everybody, thank you for joining us. Life is a journey. Don't waste the trip. Enjoy the ride. And we'll see you on the next one. All right, everyone. Have a good night. And we will see you then.